All right, so the car is making a little bit of a funny sound. It sounds like some kind of belt is straining itself. I opened up the hood and looked in there, and the belts look like they're really in good shape, and I know the previous owner replaced them just maybe a year or two ago. So what I think is happening, and I found a little puddle underneath the car as well, is I think we're leaking power steering fluid. I noticed if I'm sitting still and the car's making that sort of whining sound, it's worse, and I can feel it in the wheel when I go to turn the wheel. So what I'm gonna do is take my nicer microphone, throw it inside the engine bay and start the car up and take a recording of it. Then we'll add a little bit of power steering fluid and listen to it again and see if that was the case to fix it. Just for reference, so car has been sitting here overnight, 12 hours. This is the front end right under the engine bay, the car, where I think we're leaking some fluid from the power steering pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood by pulling this and hop out of the car. This hood just stands up, and this little guy right down here will hold it up into place. I love that. The design, it's kind of cool how it pops open forward on the Corvette. So here's inside the engine bay, and I've been learning a little bit about what's going on in here. What we're gonna be trying to do today is to get down underneath this fan. See that cap right in the center of the screen? Let me see if I can get it in focus. I believe that's our power steering cap. And so I'm gonna open that up and put a little fluid in there. But first, let's go ahead and listen to the whining sound. I've got my microphone here just pointed at the open engine bay. I'm gonna hop into the car and start it up. So let's go through the tools we're gonna be using today. I've got, first and foremost, some power steering fluid. I picked up a little bit of this. And then other than that, it should be pretty simple. I've got some nitrile gloves, some blue shop towels, because I know this is gonna get a little bit messy. And then this little funnel that has a tube on the end, because as you saw, that's quite a ways down in there. I didn't think there was any chance I'd be able to get a bottle of that fluid down inside the engine bay where it needed to go. So rather than just a funnel, I've got this. I could snake this piece of tubing down inside there to get the fluid where it needs to go. These gloves on. So I'm gonna go ahead and get down in there and pull that cap out. Just unscrew just a little bit, and pull this out and wipe it down. Yeah, it looks to me like it's pretty much bone dry. I know it shows shiny, but not much coming off on this. I'm gonna switch this glove. This has got paint on it and it's chipping off onto everything. I'm gonna put this cap back into place now that I've wiped it down, just to see how much, if any, fluid is actually in there right now. So let me go ahead and fix that back into place. And pull it back out. Yeah, that looks to me like it's really pretty much dry. So I'm gonna set that aside for a second and go ahead and put some fluid in. Feed that hose right down inside of there. Try to avoid getting my power steering fluid throughout the rest of the car. Okay, so that's down in there nicely. It's got a cap on it. And it looks like this funnel is closed at the bottom, so let me go ahead and open that up. It's got this little mechanism you can twist to open and close it to start and stop the flow. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna keep adding this fluid. We're getting to the point where I can see a little bit of the fluid coming up toward the top, so it is filling. Now that I got that to the fill line where I wanted it to be, what I'm gonna do is I recapped it, clean my hands off, got those gloves off, and I'm gonna start this microphone back up, and we'll start the car again and see if we hear any difference in the engine sound. So everything sounds to me to be running much smoother than it did last night. I was actually hearing the whining a lot more. Everything seems like it's working pretty smoothly right now. I'm not hearing any of that whining, straining sound, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut the car off.